Welcome to Freedom Forest, guys, the 3-acre edible oasis that we're creating here in the south of England, where we like to try lots of new things and push the boundaries with what we can grow using permaculture and no-dig methods. Absolutely no chemicals, weed killers or synthetic fertilisers, just what nature provides. Hi folks, and welcome to part 1 of the creation of our new chicken home. So this area used to be where we grew the 3 sisters, corn, beans and squash. But we recently decided that we wanted to start keeping chickens, and we felt that this would be the perfect area for them. And so we have now begun the build of their house, which we will be sharing more on in this video. And as we move through these videos, I'm going to be sharing more on my plans on how I'm hoping that we will be able to keep chickens self-sufficiently. So what do I mean by self-sufficiently? In my mind, there are 2 possibilities you could look at with this. The first one being that by self-sufficiently, I mean that we are going to grow absolutely everything that we feed the chickens here on site. And that would be my ideal. However, I'm aware that there may be times that this isn't always 100% possible. So then the other way you could look at self-sufficiency is, would it still be self-sufficient if we sold enough of the eggs to cover the costs of any food that we do need to bring in? Let us know in the comments down below which one of those you would most class as self-sufficiency. It would be really interesting to hear about that, and I will be sharing more on the plans of how I'm intending to do this a little bit in this video and in some of the videos to come. So let's have a look at what we've got done so far. Dan had already made the base frame or floor for our chook house, and he'll talk a little more about that later on. We spent a few minutes working out where exactly we would place the house. We knew we wanted it in this corner though, as it will get good weather protection from the hedge. After a bit of moving around, we decided to stick with our first thought.
Right, we've decided this is where we're going to have the frame, so what I'm going to do is just mark out the 4 positions the legs are going to be, which are going to be on the inside of the corners here, just with some tent pegs there. And then I'll be lifting this frame away in a minute, and I can dig out the areas where I'm going to have 4 little paving slab foundations for it. It's going to be on stilts to keep it off the ground. I'm going to be using 4 of these little paving slabs for the foundation for the legs to sit onto, and I'm going to dig a hole out first, a bit bigger than this, for each foundation pad. Compact some rubble into there, and then I've got some post-mix cement that my neighbour had left over, just to give this a bit of a foundation to sit on. So the idea of this is to basically just remove the topsoil to get down to the kind of subsoil beneath that, which is a kind of much more compacted soil type, which isn't going to kind of like sink in when you put weight on it so much. And most of this is actually compost, because this is a no dig bed anyway, so on top of solid clay, so you don't have to go down too far. Alright, so I've dug out the 4 bits for the little foundations, and you can see the peg in the middle there where the post is going to be, and then you can see that kind of like orange clay there. That's the subsoil beneath the topsoil there, which is already firm and pretty compact. So I'm just going to go through now with the compactor tool and just knock that down a little bit more and put some rubble in the holes. And the purpose of all this, if you haven't already guessed, is just to stop it sinking over time. Because if we did this just on top of this topsoil, then wet weather, winter, the whole thing is going to start sinking. I had a load of old bricks laying around, so I've broken those up already, and they're ready to go in a minute. Alright, so we've got our holes, compacted rubble in. I'm just going to bring the frame back over it now, just so I can make sure we're all in the right place. It's pretty damn heavy, this stuff, this hardwood. If this was a softwood frame, it would be pretty light, but this must weigh probably a good 45-50 kg, this thing. Just try and get these roughly in the middle of the holes. Again now, just see if I need to open any of the holes out a bit. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, so these 4x4s are the legs. These are treated ones. If they weren't treated, they wouldn't last very long at all. And the basic idea will be, once I've got the a bit of concrete on there, they'll be sitting in the centres like that, and then this frame will be set up, raised up onto here. So that's roughly set on them where they will go. Doesn't matter if they don't fall exactly in the centre of the little slabs when it's done, but at least I know now I can take all that out of the way and put a bit of cement under those, and we should be good. I didn't pick a very good watering can, full of holes as you can see, but we've got the quick set-in cement sets in about 10 to 15 minutes, so we've got to be fairly quick for this part. Alright, so the 4 little concrete slabs there, they're about 3 inches thick, are almost set now. I had to do it quickly because it sets in about 10 minutes. I'm now going to work out which is the slightly highest one out of the 4, using a level and a bit of wood. And then I can then go around with a little bit of just normal mortar, cement and sand, and just get our 4 little pads there completely level, ready for our base and the frame to sit onto. So yeah, going well so far. So this here is the base of our chicken coop, made of reclaimed pallet wood. Actually, it's a hardwood called Meranti, which is absolutely brilliant, so dense and great for outdoor use. The measurements of this are 122 by 2.2, so we've made it so it's pretty much the same size as a sheet of plyboard or OSB, but minus 20 centimetres on the long end, so it should be fairly easy when we cover these. These are our legs, because it's going to be on stilts raised off the ground, and these are 4x4 treated posts. Basically I only needed 2 posts. These were ones my dad gave me ages ago, and cut in half basically. So these are 34 inches or roughly 87 centimetres long. Oh, and I've cut a notch in the top of them here, which will the frame will sit into when we get it built.
Okay, so as you can see, we have now got the main base of our chicken house in place on its legs. The legs are on little concrete pads, which are going to help to stop the wood rotting out really quickly. And whilst Dan has been busy doing all of this, I have been in this area dotting a few plants in, and I've been planting lots of herbs today and over the last few weeks. I've put in sage and thyme and rosemary. I've still got to go in, and I've put about 4 or 5 lavender plants in this area already, and I've also been dotting mashua along the fence line, which will hopefully grow up all over the fence, and it's going to provide a great green leaf that the chickens will be able to eat. Now, the herbs aren't the main source of food that I'm going to be giving the chickens, but they are going to act as medicines for the chickens, as medicinal and support plants. So this is one of the first layers that I'm adding to this area to keep our chickens self-sufficiently. And I'm going to be adding a lot more plants to this area over time, and I'll be sharing more about the plants that I'm going to be growing to help us feed the chickens in future videos. So make sure you stay tuned for episode 2 of creating our new chicken home. We hope you've enjoyed seeing this video today, guys. We look forward to hearing from you in the comments, and we'll catch you here again soon. Thanks for watching. Peace and plants.